Hey friends, this is Sean Washburn from YourExcelTutor.com, and you're watching 30 Tips in 30 Days. And for today's tip, I thought we'd do something fun. I just wanted to show you some of what you could do with some of the automation in Excel, and in this case to create a file, and I'll show you how you can get this file that can track your goals if you want to use something like this. So I created this goal tracker file, and I'm going to open it up here. And first thing to let you know is this file, you could see it in the file name, but it's a .xlsm. That means that it can run macros. That's basically the big differentiator. And by default, your files are not saved that way. They're saved, if it's a new version of Excel, it's saved as a .xlsx. Older versions of Excel actually were just .xls, and you could have a macro or not in there. So they've split it out with the new versions. I've already opened this file, so it didn't ask me this, but for your version, if we hook up and you get this file, when you go to open it, yours will probably ask you to enable content, and that's just saying, hey, is this file okay to run, because it may have macros in there. So if that pops up, a little yellow bar pops up, you just say, click enable content, and then you're good to go. First thing that'll pop up here is you'll see this little pop-up. And that's the one thing I want to show you is there's a way through macros that you can have something run automatically when you open your file. So in this case, I just have a little pop-up, but all it's doing is collecting data from in here. But you could have a macro that goes and collects data from somewhere else, from another database or from another file, or it goes and scours folders and looks for all the file names. So if new file names have shown up somewhere, it can update that information. Basically, so when you open it, it can do things automatically is the key. So that I use that a lot for a lot of my files, to refresh things when I open, things like that. So we're going to hit OK on this. And what I've done on this file too is I've protected, you can go back and look at the tip on protecting sheets that I had, and I think that was, I'm going to say it's somewhere in the last couple tips. And so down here under this, if you unprotected this, you could pretty much click anywhere, but what I've done is made it so you can't click on any of the formulas or anything that are in here. So that way you can't mess up the formulas. But what you can do is enter data. And so the first thing is, you put your name in here. I put my name, Sean. In this case, for this goal sheet, I'm going to say I want to track how much water I'm drinking. But you could also say push-ups, or you could say this could be something for tracking stairs. Maybe you climb a lot of stairs every day. Let's say we did stairs instead, and each flight of stairs is maybe 10 stairs. I don't know if that's normal. Let's say 15 flights of stairs. So notice that what happened here when I changed this quantity. Well, first when I changed this here, these things changed. So that's not a big deal. But when I changed the quantity, these quantities here change. So these are automatically updated. So whatever you put in here, it's going to increment that up, up to a certain number. Maybe you pass that. If it's stairs, maybe you go a lot more than that. But this is per day. So you change this number. You can pick whatever month you're in. So starting here in November 2018, all the way up through 2019, 2020. So you pick a different month. What's going to happen is it's going to change how the month shows up on here. And then also it's going to ask you if you want to clear the cells. So right now I have these cells down here, and if obviously I go to a new month, I'm going to probably want to wipe all those out. So there's two ways you can do that. You can either click this button and it'll ask you, are you sure you want to clear the cells? We'll say no for now. Or when I go to change the month, so if I go to change, say, December, it changes the dates in here. And then would I like to clear the cells? Sure. So now everything updates. It's cleared out. All these zero out. And just to give you an overview here, so you put your stuff in the top row. You pick your month. Once you pick your month, then you're just going to be running with that month. This lets you turn on and off that pop-up when you first start up. So maybe you're like, I don't really like that pop-up. You just leave it off. And then this is kind of your main indicator up here. Shows how many total of whatever you're tracking for the month. And then this one, these are per week. So as you go along in the weeks, you can see week by week update. This will show you, let's say, so today is the 16th. Let's say it's tracking stairs, and I've already done, a couple flights of stairs. So I can just, as I put these in, you'll see it'll update. And this blue, if you kind of look across here, you've got these. This is tracking. This first yellow layer here is tracking the sum of what's in here. It's looking at each X, and then it's seeing, each X represents 15. So it's adding all those up. And then, here's the days of the week, and here's the dates for the day. And the blue ones, if you're wondering what the blue is, that just means, for this, it's the current week is blue, and here the current day is blue. So that I want to make it easier for you to see where you're at. So when you open this up, you just know automatically, okay, tomorrow you open it up, the 17 will be blue, and go on from there. So like I say, you can, if you put these, let's put some here on the other dates, and you'll see those weeks and everything pop up. You'll see this pop up and update with you, and you can just keep adding. If you need to delete something, no problem, you delete. But what you can't do is click on any of these other cells. So I try to make it so you can't, as easy as possible to use it. So a couple things too then, if you wanted to print this out, let's say, you could go to your print preview, and you'll see it's set up, it's already in landscape mode, it's set to print the whole page, and you can use this almost like a bar graph if you want to do that, but I've also included, and below that, like an extra chart. So if you do print preview again, you go to page 2, you'll see that there's there's a graph already in there. So if you're a graphy kind of person, which I like graphs, I like seeing things visually. There's two different ways to see it visually. So you can see it like this, or you can see it by the the bar graph. So that's just some of the functionality. It uses a couple macros basically to clear the cells, reset the months, things like that. And that's so not a ton to it. But if you've never used formulas or macros, there's some formulas in here. So you can. This isn't a super polished file, it's just something to show you what you can do. So if you want, you can go in here, you can get this, you can unprotect, and just kind of see how things are set up. And hopefully you could learn some from that of how to do this on your own if you like. So I'd love to share the file with you. If you send me a comment below, just say, hey, I like the file, whatever. I'll send you a message back and put the file in there. And then, yeah, you could start using it and tracking whatever you want. Especially heading into the new year in a month and a half. You could set some tabs up in here and be tracking all kinds of things. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tip. I know it's a little different today. Something fun and something free with this file for you. But yeah, thanks for listening, watching, and check in tomorrow for another tip.